Dr. Clarke, why are you calling up my phone?
Sir.
You have crossed the line, Dr. Clarke, and you think I'm stupid. Okay, I will put it out to the public and make the public their judge. And I'm gonna put this out for the public to know. Everything that you've been talking about has been recorded. Let me just let you know that. So you can send out your goal. I know who you is. I know who Dr. Orius Chang is. I know who Andrew Olness is. Ask Patrick Bailey, who is Dr. Jermaine Gordon. I'm a very close friend of Patrick Bailey. And I will put in out the article, this recording, so don't think I'm scared. Let me tell you who is Dr. Jermaine Gordon, an open gay person. Yes, who know all of your secret, who know every single one of you who mingle on that side of the fence and hypocritical in the party. I will blow you out. Go ask Patrick Bailey who you're speaking with.
The informative information presented in this video is motivational and is positively aimed at inspiring, educating and entertaining the viewers with the cutting edge of critical reasoning. If you enjoy the contents on the Black Radar YouTube channel, please consider subscribing to show your support.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Is this OBC Radio?
Yes.
Who am I speaking with?
You're speaking with somebody working with OBC, Kevin.
OBC what? Captain?
Kevin.
Oh, Kevin. Yeah, Kevin.
Yes.
Can I speak to you about your Instagram page?
What you want to speak about Instagram page?
I'm seeing some very libelous material.
What libelous material? Who am I speaking with?
This is Nigel Clarke.
Okay, Dr. Clarke. What libelous material you're seeing?
I'm seeing on Instagram page Jamaican government stole Usain Bolt's money. Demand taxpayers to pay it back.
Yes. And you're saying that, well, first of all, I appreciate you taking the time to call. And you're saying that the information is libelous?
Absolutely. My God, this is nasty and libelous.
Let me ask you something, Dr. Clarke. Aren't you the Finance Minister of Jamaica?
Yes.
Isn't it under your watch over $300 billion went missing under fraud?
No, sir. I think you have your facts mixed up. Jamaica operates a market economy where individuals can start companies, and those individuals, those boards, shareholders, are responsible for the administration of those companies.
And the thing
what you have here is, something that, I mean, a lot of legal entities would have interest in. I'm just being very, very humble and calling, just to say that you might be upset, you might be angry, and so on. But you can't write things like this, sir, that are just not true.
It's not a matter of upset or anger, Dr. Clarke. But the people of Jamaica vote you all in power to oversee what goes on in the country. And as a finance minister, that's your backyard where over $3 billion went missing with none of your knowledge, and in your home, in your house, and you won't stand responsibility for it?
Sir, you live in the United States?
Yes, I live in the United States.
Okay. You have fraud all over the United States, all over Florida, all over the United States. I can send you many articles on fraud in banks, people losing money.
Yes.
What you do, sir, is that you get your law enforcement to find the culprits and you bring them before the court. And that is what the government of Jamaica is doing. We can't, no government, unless you are a commit.
Dr. Clarke, give me a second. Just a quick second.
No, first of all, I'm not here to just take this down. We can have a conversation. But you can't do this, sir. You can't label the government in this way and label me in this way. I've worked too hard for that. I'm asking you respectfully to address that. I'm happy to have a conversation with you.
Yes, sir. I'm asking you as the Minister of Finance, who controls and oversees all finances in Jamaica. Something of that magnitude happened, and you don't think the government should take responsibility for it, for allowing something of that magnitude to happen? And then, with the slap in the face, you turn around asking taxpayers to repay back that money?
No, sir. You have the information. You have the facts wrong, sir. You have the facts wrong. It's people. We have thieves in all countries in Jamaica. There are people who steal from offices, from houses, and there are people who steal from banks. They are bad people. The government can't guarantee that the people in Jamaica are all good people. But what we do is, when bad happens, we support law enforcement to get to the bottom of it. And right now, sir, I'm on your side, and that is the unfortunate nature of it. I'm on your side. It's because I'm trying to get to the bottom of it that SSL right now is a bankrupt company. It has no money. But if we let everything close,
it should close.
Yes.
The Prime Minister was also an investor. The Prime Minister.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
no, sir. Allow me to give you the fact. SSL is going to close. It's like a crime scene, right? In a crime scene, you see the yellow tape they put around the building because they're trying to keep things as they are so they can determine what happened. The yellow tape around SSL just means that the client money that SSL has, they can't return it to the client just yet. Right? There's $30 billion of client money there, meaning money belonging to some, whatever, hundreds or thousands of clients. So because the client money is still there, because investigators have to go through, look at each account, and make sure that what is supposed to be there is there. And it's because the client funds have not been returned that the investigators, the FID, have been able to increase the fraud, right, from 40 accounts to 75. They've discovered that. Now, once the client funds are returned to the client, there's no need for any employee at SSL. Right? And SSL will scale down and will be no more. And that will happen quite quickly.
So if that's in the place to happen, Dr. Clarke, why is it you're asking the citizens of Jamaicans to pay back the money that was fraudulently stolen from SSL? What is happening, sir, is that there's a willful attempt to distort information. And I need people like good thinking people like you to help push back on the distortion. If you're not politically motivated, and I can have a reasonable conversation with you. What is happening is a detestable thing that people who know better are fooling the Jamaican people and telling things that are not true. All that is happening, sir, is that SSL was unable to pay the staff for August. Now, the staff that is there, they have been able to assist with the investigation so far. And we don't think that we're going to need to keep them for much longer. But they've already worked for the August, and so the FSC was stepping in to pay their August salary. The August salary for the workers is $9.5 million Jamaican dollars. Okay? And it is to support an investigation. If the salaries are not paid, sir, the investigation that you want to see will be compromised. No, Dr. Clarke. Because what you're saying, with all due respect, it's nonsense. Because, I mean, it's a betrayal towards the people who put you into power, Dr. Clarke. The SSL is a private entity, isn't it?
Yeah, but yes.
So wait, no, hold on, Dr. Clarke. If SSL is a private entity, how is it that the government is asking the citizens of Jamaica to pay a private entity salary when they fraudulent? Okay. All of them know that from the top of what was going on, knew what was going on. For the
is this conversation private?
Yes, we're having a private conversation.
that you will not talk about or report on?
Okay, there is no need for talk and report on this.
Head west on
Okay.
North Island Boulevard East.
All right. So, sir, in any kind of financial resolution or a resolution of a non-viable financial entity, you're going to need outside funds to deal with it. Okay? Whether it is in America or Canada or the United States, you can't resolve a failed financial institution without outside resources. It's just not possible. Just not possible. And what I'm doing, sir, has never been done in Jamaica before. I am pursuing an investigation and getting to the bottom of it. That's what I'm doing. And to do so, sir, do you understand that we have, when the fraud broke, we were told that there are 40 accounts that have been defrauded. Right? Today, we have that number up to 75 accounts that have been defrauded.
I've known. I've been following.
Yeah, so that's an increase of 75%. The only way that could happen is that employees are there and they can answer questions from investigators. So we just need the employees to be there for just a little longer. It's not like a long time.
Is it an investigation? It's fair to ask, Mr. Dr. Clarke.
Yes.
Is it an investigation or a cover-up? The Prime Minister was an investor in SSL. It is alleged that SSL has been a prominent campaign support to the Jamaica Labour Party. Is that factual, Mr. Dr. Clarke?
I just joined the politics in 2018. I can't talk about that. It has not been in the time that I have been here.
Dr. Clarke, I'm aware when you came into the Jamaica Labour Party. I'm aware how long the Jamaica Labour Party has been in power, and when it's been in power, I'm aware of what's going on in Jamaica. I'm asking you that with the recent campaign that just went on when you was elected.
Yes. No, SSL wouldn't have featured there because SSL was in serious trouble by then. So they wouldn't have been involved in that campaign.
So there was no campaign that SSL was involved in with the Jamaica Labour Party?
I can't speak to when I was not there. So, I can't do that.
Yeah, but as a finance minister, you have the documents and the tally.
No, I wouldn't have documents on what SSL does with money. But you're missing the point, Diana, sir. The point is, and I understand.
Okay, give me one good reason, Dr. Clarke. Why is it after? No, you don't see that Jamaica has been. You don't believe that the people in Jamaica have been suffering. You promised. Yes. Your party promised prosperity to the people.
Are you absolutely believe? You're not. You change your topic on me. I'm talking to you about a very nasty libelous thing on the Instagram page.
No, goes into
you're saying that the Jamaican government stole money. I mean, that is something that
the Jamaican government is in power to oversee what's going on, and you are the finance minister, and $3 billion of your money came out of your house, and you don't know nothing about it. Your resignation should put in, sir.
No, sir. It's a private entity that had a bad actor who stole
exactly, but however, you are asking public entity, the citizens who are public citizens, to repay the salaries of a private company that stole $300 billion. Make it make sense when the people are suffering.
No, stole $3 billion. So $3 billion. No, so what, sir?
$3 billion. That's what I said. $3 billion. That's a lot of money. Do you want to not know? Yes.
No, sir. Do you want the investigators to find the culprits and bring them to the court?
I do believe that you all know the culprits.
No, sir. We're not all knowing. We're not omniscient, sir.
Dr. Clarke, yeah. I've seen a lot of citizens speak out against Prime Minister Holness, and instantaneously they are found and located and demand a public apology. So don't tell me that $3 billion of your money got removed from your country and you are a finance minister and you have no knowledge to it. If it is that you had no knowledge to it, then your resignation should be put in.
No, sir. No, sir. Every day in the United States, you have financial institutions
We
that
are not
fail.
speaking about the United States. We are speaking
Okay.
about Jamaica.
But that is correct. But I'm just giving you, I'm just sharing something with you so that you can understand that, the failure of companies happens all over the world. And
if the government allow it to, if the government imposes.
No, sir. We are a free country. People are free to make their decisions. Sometimes people abuse that freedom to do bad things, like defraud other people.
And you don't think you're abusing your authority by asking the citizens of Jamaica to repay the salary of private company?
No, sir. What we are trying, this company is no longer. What we're trying to do is to piece together what happened so that people can be brought before the court.
Are you looking money for the campaign election coming up?
Sir. Both political parties seek donations from donors. SSL has no money to give anybody. This is to
no.
If we don't pay, no. But you're seeing that. No, you see, sir. If
understand, I'm a journalist and we get things come to us.
The people. What is happening, sir, is that the most despicable thing is happening is that people who know better, people who are intelligent, who have knowledge and relationships and so on, are deliberately deceiving the public and whipping up anger. And I need people of good conscience like yourself.
The only deceive that has gone to the public is the Jamaica Labour Party that deceived. I was all for the support of the Jamaica Labour Party, Dr. Clarke, with the change and the prosperity and you all going forward. As a member of the diaspora, we were all in support of it. With what's happening right now in Jamaica, it's a shame and an embarrassment. And for you now to go and ask the citizen, a private entity, you still can't understand that you're beating around the fact, because that's what people have been speaking out longer. But the slap in the face is when you, Dr. Nigel Clarke, want to ask the people of Jamaica, public citizens, to repay a private entity salary.
No,
because they are stolen money. That's wrong.
No, sir. Just please understand. What we're doing, the investigators, we've hired international investigators. They have come to Jamaica, and
what does that have to do with the people to repay the money, repay their salary?
Okay, sir. What it has to do is that the investigators are not finished. For them to finish, they need those staff members. These are not all the staff SSL had. This is just some. The rest have been sent home. They just need these to remain just for a little longer. It's not a long time. It's a couple of weeks.
You know why international investigators have to come in to investigate? Because you guys are corrupt. If you guys are putting in power to do those investigations, which you should be able to engage on your own. So the fact that you have an international entity involved, it means that corruption has been going on from the top.
No, sir.
You can't tell me that you have a house and $3 billion company and you don't know nothing about it.
No.
I'm Dr. Gordon speaking. Are you speaking with Dr. Gordon?
Dr. Gordon?
Yes, sir.
A medical doctor? Or PhD?
PhD, honorable PhD.
Okay. Right. So, Dr. Gordon, what is happening is that the investigation is not finished. And the investigators have asked that we don't send home the people who are maintaining the systems at SSL, that we don't send them home immediately.
They should have been fired. You shouldn't care about sending them home. They were all in a private, they're a private company that the Prime Minister had invest and get billions of dollars from and speak publicly about it. You're Prime Minister, and you are the Finance Minister of Jamaica, and you are saying that under your watch, over $3 billion come out, and you weren't aware of it. And now you are asking the private entity, the private company that fraud that stole that money. Let's say you know nothing about it. Okay, and the slap in the face is to repay the citizens to repay the salary for those people who stole those money. Let it make sense.
Okay,
that's the biggest deceit to the Jamaican people.
No, sir, these are not the people who stole the money. These are not the people who stole the money. The investigators just need to do their job and they need these people to
Dr.
answer
Clarke,
questions.
you weren't aware of the $3 billion coming out of the country from SSL.
Sir,
you had no knowledge.
Sir, the SSL fraud went on for 10 years. How would I have knowledge of that, sir? No knowledge. How could I have knowledge of that, sir?
3 years, today makes 3 years. You have been appointed Minister of Finance.
Mm-hmm.
And you had no knowledge to what's going on. Nothing in the book, no documentation to it.
Sir, this is a thing that has been happening for 10 years. Anyway, I'm just saying to you that what you have here on your thing...
Hold on, Dr. Clarke. The fact that you know that it's happening for 10 years is the fact that you have knowledge to what's going on.
I'm saying, what?
The fact that you know that it's been going on for 10 years, you have knowledge to it within your tenure. I said no. Okay, all right. Okay, so you say you don't have no knowledge to it. Then if you had no knowledge to it, then your resignation should be put in, because you can't tell me that you have a house and $3 billion come out and you don't know about it. Bullshit. And then you, in return, you're asking the citizens to repay the salary of a company, a private company that stole. Why is it so important for the finance minister of Jamaica to ask the citizens, public citizens, to repay a private company? What is this in it for you as a finance minister to ask the citizens to use the taxpayers' money to repay salary for a private company that fraudulently stole $3 billion under your watch that you supposedly knew nothing about? Why would you want to repay the workers?
And I'm public. Not repay the workers. Yes, sir. So, I would not want to pay for any of those salaries, but I'm faced with a choice. The investigators need access to the workers just for a little bit longer in order to get to the bottom of the fraud.
They get fired and sent home, they don't get no pay. Public citizens have nothing to do with that. Public citizens have been crying long enough. That's a lot of public people, money over 40, well, it's over 70, what, 75, it's not 74 accounts that was taken out. And you are telling me that, oh, the Minister of Finance knew nothing about this. This is not $100 we're talking about, or $200 we're talking about.
You're being unreasonable. You're being unreasonable.
How am I being unreasonable? If I have a company, I'm a management of a company, and somebody is stealing money swindling money from my company, and I'm management and I know nothing about it, then I need
Sir, let's put it this way. All of your friends' money was stolen before 2018. How could doesn't mean that you're being unfair. All the money was taken out before 2018 in the case of...
How long you have been a member of the Jamaica Labour Party?
Been a member of the Jamaica Labour Party right before I got appointed as minister.
Right before you become minister?
Yes. So I just think I understand how you feel, but you're looking for answers, but I am with you, and what I'm doing is supporting the Financial Investigation Division and the Fraud Squad to find and to prosecute.
You should be with me, you should be with the people of Jamaica. And the fact that you're asking the people of Jamaica to pay the salary of a private company show that you are not with the people of Jamaica.
No, I did it. I'll send you my interviews. I did it. And I was saying to the people of Jamaica, we need it just for a little while longer so we can get more people arrested and brought before the court.
No, that's garbage. That's garbage. The Jamaican citizens should not be responsible for paying. The responsible should be the Jamaican people should be holding you responsible as a finance minister. It's the Jamaican people who put you as a finance minister 3 years ago when you all came to the Jamaican people and promised prosperity, and that changes will be made. However, it's been a fraud. $3 billion. You are in control of the finance. You are the finance minister of Jamaica.
Sir, I'm talking for a little while longer so we can get more people arrested and brought before the court.
No, that's garbage. That's garbage. The Jamaican citizens should not be responsible for paying.
The responsible should be the Jamaican people should be holding you responsible as a finance minister. It's the Jamaican people who put you as a finance minister 3 years ago when you all came to the Jamaican people and promised prosperity, and that changes will be made. However, it's been a fraud. 3 billion, you are in control of the finance. You are the finance minister of Jamaica. And you were put in place, you were elected 3 years ago. Today makes 3 years ago, Dr. Clarke. You were put in place as the finance minister.
I'm talking, what you have on Instagram here is libelous, sir.
Well, if it's libel, I can tell you it's factual, sir. You are a part of a corrupt government that has in the fact that you're here taking now and you're speaking like this, you are not taking responsibility for the action of what went on in SSL and what goes on. And now you're asking the citizens, SSL is a private company which should not have any part with the public citizen of Jamaica, and they fraudulently stole over $3 billion from out of the country. And you were elected to do something, and within your 3 years tenure, what you are doing now is to ask the citizens of Jamaica to repay the salary of the people who fraudulently stole. That is thief. That's the biggest thief. It's the government's responsibility. The fact that you're not taking responsibility and doing action for it shows that it's corruption on all levels. And whatever action you want to take, Dr. Nigel Clarke, against OBC Radio LLC, go ahead and do it, sir. Because it's not taken down. You are the finance minister. You are the landlord, head cook and bottle washer for every finance deal that goes on in the island of Jamaica. And you are saying during your tenure, all those corruption was going on, and you know nothing about it. Who do you think you're talking to, Dr. Nigel Clarke? Whatever repercussion you want to, reprisal you want to go ahead and take an action against OBC Radio LLC, you can go ahead and take it down. I'm a licensed journalist, and freedom of speech is what is going on, and everything that's written, it can be proven factual. And the fact that you call now trying to cover up, I appreciate your call, but all I'm getting is a cover up. There's no, you are my parents, and I put my money in my house. You are my father, and I put my money in my house. I'm working and put my money in my piggy bank in my house. And Daddy, leave my door open. Leave the door open and let criminals come in and take it away. And Daddy is not taking responsibility for it. Let it make sense. And then you're saying you're for the people? No, that's a big deceit. And we have all right to speak out on behalf of the people on these things and highlight what's going on. It's corruption on the top. And it's not just this, but it's not just this. There's more corruption that your name has called into Dr. Nigel Clarke. We can go on and on. So this is not because you're getting to highlight on this now, because you're slapping the people in their face as if they're naive. You should be taking responsibility. Your recognition should be put in. You shouldn't come to the citizens asking them to repay salary of a public company. It shows that what the fact that came in, that SSL was a donor for the Jamaica Labour Party campaign, whether it was during your tenure or not. You are a part of the Jamaica Labour Party. You should take responsibility, and not that just you are a member of the Jamaica Labour Party or a delegate. You are a finance minister. Start taking action for your responsibility, because the people believe in you guys, and the people, you win by a landslide because people believe in you, and you turn around and deceive the people over and over and over and step in the neck, and it's wrong. When are you going to take responsibility for the actions of the corruption that's going on in the country?
Yeah, sir, I think you're so
invest in all what will be going on.
You're so convinced. No, you're not open to the fact that I take up the phone to call you, right? I'm happy I did to hear your point of view, But you are being fed with a lot of information. It's not true.
No,
You know, Dr.
it's
Gordon,
not true.
it's not true, Dr. Gordon.
Okay, what information that's not true? $3 billion came out from Jamaica, where you are the finance minister, and you know nothing about it, you claim.
Sir,
You are
that's not my job. My job is not to know about those. Sir, this is a thing that went on for 10
What's
years.
your job as a finance minister, Mr. Dr. Clarke?
Mm-hmm.
As a finance minister, what's your job? Minister of Finance. The word finance.
Yes, the finance minister, sir. But you seem dogmatic and made up. I don't know if, you seem like you've made up your mind and you can't be convinced any at all.
No, I would love for you to. No, I would love for you to. But you're not answering the question. You're going around.
No, I'm answering the question. I'm saying, sir, the job of a minister of finance is to make policy, to craft a budget, and to put policies in place and so forth. A minister of finance does not run any financial institution. We have
doing this budget.
Wait.
Yes.
We have 75, 80 financial institutions in Jamaica. A minister of finance cannot know what is going on with those entities. We operate a market system where people are free, they have a responsibility, and sometimes people, mess up on their responsibility. But you have people who are responsible, people at Victoria Mutual, people at Capital and Credit, people at JLNB, people at Barita, people at different companies that are responsible for stewarding the resources in their company. Right? And when they make errors, here is the thing that I'm trying to do, and the reason why this is
okay. We're talking about
Dr. Gordon. I'm trying to support a free, unfettered, and transparent investigation. That's what I'm trying to do.
And always supporting a free and transparent investigation, asking the public citizens to repay the salary of a private company.
The reason for that, sir, the reason for that, sir, is that the investigators need to be able, in order to get certain documents, get certain information, understand how certain things in the system work and so on, they need to be able to talk to them and get answers. And furthermore, SSL...
What does that have to do with the citizens of Jamaica?
Wait. It's a crime scene, and so the client funds are still there. Because the client funds are still there, you need people there to administer the client funds. Okay? There is... right now we have an immediate need that we have to pay the salaries. There is no other place from which that one can have those resources. And what happens everywhere, sir, is that financial sector failure is a burden on the country. So you know what I am doing about it as well? And I can show it to you and prove to you, so you understand. I am putting in place a particular regime, and I can show it to you. It's a commitment I made in our IMF agreement.
The commitment was made 4 years ago of prosperity.
No, listen to me, man. It's something very specific, a particular law. To put in place a particular bankruptcy provision for the financial services sector, so that when we have to intervene in any failed financial institution, there's money available. So what we're doing here, we're not going to the taxpayer for money, it's FSC's reserves that are being used. And that I did not make clear, and that's probably my fault, that I will clarify. We're talking about FSC using its reserves to ensure that the employees are there for just a little bit longer so that the investigation can continue. So I'm doing what I am, I'm not a career politician. I've not been doing it from I've been 20 years. I came in here to
Rural Read among others. Rural Read among others have been caught blatantly out in corruption. What action has been taken for those? What action has been taken that they've been put in other positions? What action has been taken for those people?
I think he's before the court. He's been prosecuted.
And among others, that's been that lady that's in case for the Ministry of Education.
I think that she's been investigated.
And while being investigated, she gets position, moved to another position.
No, she's not moved to another position. But sir, listen, I want you to please understand me. That Jamaica has a lot of problems, lots of challenges, right? And I am displaying the courage to deal with those challenges. We are allowing an investigation to go forward, okay? And the FSC is paying the salaries of the employees just for a very brief period, so that the investigation can be successful.
And that's fair.
You know, we have never had a successful investigation into financial sector fraud. Never. At this scale. When things like happened, there was nothing. When cash flows happened, there was nothing. When all-in happened, there was nothing in Jamaica. When all of these schemes, this is the first time that we're having a full and proper investigation, and I need the support to get it done. And what is happening here is that political opponents are whipping up the anger of the population like yours by feeding information that is incorrect. Like, you know, this is money from the FSC.
The support that
money from the FSC.
Dr. Clarke, the support that you just spoke of, Dr. Clarke, you got it island-wide across the board 3 years ago. And now with that mass support, 3 billion.
What am I doing? What am I doing? We've discovered fraud. We covered the fraud that went on 2008, right? By 2018, all of the same post money was gone. And we have brought in international investigators. We are funding investigation.
When did the Prime Minister leave? When did the Prime Minister leave SSL?
I am not aware of that, but the Prime Minister has come out and said publicly that what he had there was...
The Prime Minister came out publicly and stated when he left SSL. And you are the finance minister. And you are speaking to me and say you want me to understand from your point of view what's going on. And I'm asking you, when did the Prime Minister vacate SSL?
And I'm saying to you, I would have to Google it to find out what he said. That's not information. That's not information.
As the finance minister, you would have to Google to find out when the Prime Minister did something to this magnitude.
Sir, this is what I need you to understand. Sir. The reason why I have to Google
at the top of your head that from 2018 you see about money was gone, but you don't know when the Prime Minister left SSL?
Yes, and the reason for that, sir, is that was all over the media.
Just like it was all over the media when Andrew Holness left SSL.
Yes, and I'm saying to you, I can Google it in a second and find it.
Okay, I will wait for the second you Google it. Google it and let me know, Dr. Clarke.
Can you Google it as well?
I mean, I know the fact.
Well,
right
tell me
off
the fact. Here's what he said. But, sir.
Okay,
all right. The reason why I know you're saying because you're saying was defrauded. So that's where my focus is. My focus is not on, there are 1,000 people who have money at SSL. I'm not focused on any of them. I'm focused on the people who lost money. So that is what I know. So here's what he said. I have no funds.
Dr. Clarke, why are you calling up my phone? You have crossed the line, Dr. Clarke. And you think I'm stupid. Okay, I will put it out to the public and make the public their judge. I'm here speaking. I put out an article and you call me, tell me that the article is liable. And I'm explaining to you where it's factual and so on and so forth. We're going. Now you gone and you're clicking and you're doing your investigation, you summarize. You're asking, oh, are you the doctor? You're a pastor? You're at Universal Life Church? Can you go on video call and call? Who you think you're talking to, Dr. Nigel Clarke? These things, you are a corrupted man. I know, as I said, I'm Jamaican, in the ghetto, I'm born and grow. Me elevate myself and move out of the country. And I'm gonna put this out for the public to know. Everything that you've been talking about has been recorded. Let me just let you know that. And it will be out. You're rude and it just proves how nasty and corrupt. Why the hell you need to see me on a video call? Why the hell is it important to know if I have a church? So you can send out your goal. I know who you is. I know who Dr. Horace Chang is. I know who Andrew Holness is. Ask Patrick Bailey, who is Dr. Jermaine Gordon. I'm a very close friend of Patrick Bailey. And I will put in out the article, this recording, so don't think I'm scared. So send your goons. You're rude.
Sure.
Have yourself a good night, sir.
No, sure. Sir. Sir?
I'm here.
Sir. Hello?
Yes, I'm here.
Hello?
So don't think I'm scared. So send your goons. Thing that you've been talking about has been recorded. Let me just let you know that. And it will be out. You're rude and it just proves how nasty and corrupt. Why the hell you need to see me on a video call? Why the hell is it important to know if I have a church? So you can send out your goon. I know who you is. I know who Dr. Horace Chang is. I know who Andrew Holness is. Ask Patrick Bailey, who is Dr. Jermaine Gordon. I'm a very close friend of Patrick Bailey. And I will put in out the article, this recording, so don't think I'm scared. So send your goons. You're rude.
Sure.
Have yourself a good night, sir.
No, sure. Sir. Sir?
I'm here.
Sir. Hello?
Yes, I'm here.
Hello? Hold on, sir. You seem to be convinced of a particular point of view. I was simply having a conversation with you.
As I said, I know what politics give.
No,
I know what politics give. I know the corruption. I know that let me tell you who is Dr. Jermaine Gordon, an open gay person. Yes, who know all of your secret, who know every single one of you, who mingle on that side of the fence and hypocritical in the party. I will blow you out. Go ask Patrick Bailey who you're speaking with. Go and ask Patrick Bailey who you're speaking with. Go and ask Cliff Hughes who you're speaking with. I've been to the up in Cliff Hughes' house with the big parties on the New Year's Eve and see everybody who is there at the gay party them. Only just a set of hypocrite and corruption. Not that I'm leading to say, I'm all for saying Jamaica have its right to stand and say no homosexual law is okay with it. But I'm just showing you the extent of the corruption that I know. Because you're interested to know who you're speaking with.
Right, sir. Okay. All right, sir. I really apologize for angering you. I'm just doing my job of interfacing with people who are upset and trying to explain things.
No, we're not upset. You got me upset when you asked me to go on video call. When you try to investigate who I am.
No, sir, I'm just being myself, and so yeah, you misunderstand. I don't mean any harm. I don't have the capacity to do anything like what you're fearing. I'm sorry for your experiences.
I mean, if I was in Jamaica, but I know you're not long enough in America.
Yeah, please, sir. I understand that you've had a number of experiences that are very, very negative. You've seen things and heard things, and you've probably been, I can't imagine, and I understand that you are justifiably upset and angry, and I don't mean...
No, we were having a conversation. We were having a conversation trying to understand your prospect of going behind. No, you indirectly threatened me. You indirectly threatened me, and everybody knew when you asked me.
No.
Dr. Clarke.
When you explain to me your history, I completely understand your trepidation when I asked you that question. Okay? I completely understand. But I wouldn't have known of that, sir. I was having a conversation with you, and I'm trying to...
I'm having a conversation. Okay, I'm having a conversation with the Minister of Finance. What is the important? Remember, hold on. Dr. Clarke.
Huh?
Dr. Clarke.
Yes.
I'm having a conversation with the Minister of Finance of Jamaica, yes? And
Yes, sir.
you called me, and the first thing you called me about saying that I put up something that's liable. Okay, we move on and we're explaining and we're talking. We're having a dialogue. At no time at all you disrespect me or I disrespect you. However, there was a time when you went on to ask, you start doing your investigation, indirectly investigation. Are you a doctor from
No,
are you the pastor? Oh no, not that. You not that person. Are you? Can you do a video call? Why is the importance for the Ministry of Finance to see me on video call?
All that I was doing, Dr. Gordon, all that I was doing is that I'm having a difficulty making progress in the conversation. And sometimes, you know, when you have all your conversations, it's like that. And I will just say, all right, maybe if we spoke face to face, I could show you stuff. I could bring something up on a screen, take you through public things that are in the public domain, and so forth. I was just thinking.
Yeah, but although, as you said, if it's in the public domain, if it's in the public,
I'm just taking the conversation to another level. Don't.
If it's,
I am sorry that I clearly, you know, capitalized and
if it's in,
and I apologize for it.
If it's in, of course you're gonna apologize, because you wanted to know who I am, and I'm telling you who I am. I'm not somebody hiding.
No, I understand. Yes, Dr. Gordon, I understand. Well, when you tell me what you just told me, I totally get where you're coming from, and a deep place of distrust and cynicism. You have seen, as you describe it, people who are hypocritical, who say one thing and do another. You've seen a lot, and I understand your perspective, and I respect that perspective, sir. I've been respectful to you throughout the whole conversation. And, you know, I did not mean to, I wouldn't have known of that background. I wouldn't have known of how, you know, the kind of distrust that you come to the conversation with.
Come on, man. Come on, man. You're Jamaican. You have a prime minister. You have a prime minister who run the country with bad man. Stop it, man.
How does somebody who is trying to be...
You wasn't trying to, don't try to pretty it up, Dr. Clarke. You wasn't trying to be nothing. You were just trying to identify who you're speaking with. And you went into your little political ways of trying to ask indirect questions to figure out who I am. And when I wouldn't go there with you, you invited me to do a video call.
Yes, sir.
You could have been a man about it. You could have been a man about it and say, let me see your face. You have so much talk. Let me see who is it I'm talking to.
But sir, don't attach too much to that, sir. I'm not trying to do it. Look, I'm doing my best. I'm doing my honest to God best as a public servant. And if you think my overture to you is praised with any ill will, you know, that was unfortunate. But if you're convinced there's nothing,
you should, if you mean any good to the citizen of Jamaica, you go and withdraw that statement. It's wrong and it's evil,
yes,
on top of the people. And the people of Jamaica, if you all think that you're going to get in power back with all that you have been doing, you all think Jamaican people
What I want you to know, sir, all I want you to know is that our motivation is to get to the bottom of this matter and for the responsible persons to be brought to account. And I may not be able to convince you of that today, but hopefully the investigation will be successful. And the intent of the government is just to get to the bottom of it so that the perpetrators can be brought before the courts.
You all know the perpetrator.
And
you all know the perpetrator.
No, sir, you need evidence that can be stand up in a court of law.
You are the Minister of Finance. You know why there's no evidence? Because you all cover it up. You know why you couldn't tell me when Andrew Holness come out of power? Because you know exactly Andrew Holness came out of power. Instantaneously, not power, came out of SSL just in time when Usain Bolt money start missing. Come on, man. And all of that don't look... exactly, that's what I'm saying. It's in the public domain, and that's what we are speaking of. Public domain, but even though it's in the public domain,
the lady, what has been said in the public domain is that...
Don't say the lady, you know her personally. Don't say the lady, you know her personally. It's a friend of yours. Jean Panther is her name.
That's not correct, sir.
Jean, don't say the lady.
Okay, sir. Yes, sir. Okay, sir.
You all been partying with her, functions, big functions. Don't say the lady.
No.
Somebody you know personally. Come on,
Okay.
Dr. Clarke. Dr.
All right,
Clarke.
sir. So, Doctor, we're not getting anywhere in the conversation. You're holding on to your...
Get somewhere, and I see you go and recant that statement publicly. Yes, after hearing the outcry, you can admit, yeah, even when it's a cassage. Come on, man, we know what's going on, but show a little sympathy to the people of Jamaica, man. Have a heart, man.
Yeah, I hear you, sir. I hear you loud and clear, sir. And I've spoken to you and listened to you, and I've listened to you.
This is the cry,
yes, sir.
Because I have we say second chances, our slogan says second chances for the forgotten voices. So we are giving the voice to the voiceless. And I'm crying on behalf of the people. This is the cry. This is what I've been hearing. And I'm telling you, if you're really power sweet, that money, all that, come on, my God, when I just get a 300% increase, why y'all don't pay back the... Okay, hold on. You get an increase, why y'all don't let them wait and pay back them then time?
All right, sir.
Come on, man. Listen to
you're
boxing business.
Yeah.
Do something for the people.
I hear you, sir.
If you want to remain in power.
I hope you appreciate. I hope you appreciate at least silently, even if you want to give me, you want to be as whatever. I hope you at least appreciate that. Huh?
I know you're a busy man. I appreciate you take the time.
Yeah, man. Yeah, and it's the perspective you have is a very important perspective for me to hear. You're obviously somebody who has been through a lot, seen a lot, and I've spoken to others before as well who have seen act out on social media, and very, very. I've experienced very similar things. People who have been like really, really hurt by an injustice in the past. Yeah, something that was a genuine injustice perpetrated against them, and it metastasizes over time, and they become extraordinarily bitter, and direct that bitterness in ways in which
you have a sense to what you're saying, but I would maybe I think you want to say where it put that bitter to where it's not directed, because it wouldn't say much. You have a sense to when you say that, but it wouldn't not say.
Yeah. See, that's why I really need to recognize it. How much people you think will call you back after you went on a while ago? I mean, I have a sense. I talk to a lot of people. I don't just talk to people who support and people who are praising. I talk to people who are cussing as well. It's part of my job. And because I represent everybody, even though you're not in Jamaica right now, I represent everybody in all perspectives. And it's important for me, even though I disagree with these others, people are sometimes misguided and accepting things that are lies and not true. It's important for me to hear all these perspectives,
Are you a member of parliament?
Hmm?
Are you a member of parliament?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Well, if, as I said, power is sweet, and you need to do something for you and your constituents, let the people, let me talk where you understand, let the people say, okay, Dr. Nigel Clarke have a heart, because right now, people looking at it, they don't have none. Because guess what? It looking like highly like the People's National Party gonna be in power. Now, if the People's National Party be in power, you want to make sure you remain as a member of Parliament for your constituency. So do something, because everybody crying. Do something for the people. Show them, say you have something different within you. You can stand out, because power is sweet.
Different power is what?
Power seat.
Seat, right, okay. Yes, sir. That is what that's what I am trying to do. I have a lot of programs in place and so forth. And, it's a challenging job. It's a challenging job, a challenging time.
Yes, but you have to step out. You have to step out.
But I will. I am definitely going to be doing that, sir.
Election, you all may hide from the local government. It goes to shows because it's the first in the history where a local government election has not called. And you all know why you don't call it local government election. Because you know you're the last. But it coming to a time is winding down. Step out. Your people who support you because you went landslide, green right across the board.
Yes, sir. I know that and as I said, that's talking to people. My fundamental belief is you can benefit from talking to everybody, even people who are, other people would say you're mad to talk, So that's the perspective I bring to these things. But you are, you make very solid points about,
I hope you take it into good consideration and make action on it, not just consideration. I hope you take those points into good consideration and make actions. Use the consideration into actions because time is winding down and people are upset. People are hungry.
Yes, sir. Let me ask you something. Yes, I agree. I understand that. And I want to, I have benefited from this conversation, even though I, disagree. And I'm quite upset at how you're characterizing things which, are just not true. But I understand, and I don't want to take a process of time for me to be able to convince you. And so I will keep your number, and we can talk again. And I totally get behind 100%.
I will be definitely reaching out to you because I would like to know the next time reaching out to you is to thank you and doing something on behalf of the people.
Yes, sir. You can count on me to do that. That's what I've been.
There is 206 countries around the world. However, they only said technically is 195. However, we count the 206 because we have 59 out of the 206 tuning into our radio station. The ending of this month is 2 years since we start. We have a wide population listeners in Jamaica. As I said, 50.
So maybe you could interview me one day. Maybe I could come on interview.
And that's why I'm saying I would really hope the next time when we talk.
But we have to have a. But we have. I'd come on your program one day if you invite me, but I'm going to say that I can't convince everyone tonight and other night to come. It'll take time, but not everything. Things are not. I know how it comes across, and I can't. It pains me. It hurts me deeply to hear how genuinely convinced you are of what you're saying. I cannot tell you. It pains me so deeply. And that is what is exercising my mind about how can there be this. I'm not saying things are perfect. Things are not perfect. But how can there be this tremendous disconnect? And that is what I need to wrap my head around.
In all fairness, Dr. Clarke,
we'll keep an open line.
In all fairness, I must say, you sound, I don't know if it's acting, but you sound very genuine, you sound sincere in the tone of your voice where you just speak just now.
That's the only reason why I wanted you to see me. Right? You were focusing on you. So you just see me for who I am and the sincerity. That's why I suggested the video thing. What I'm trying to say that you're presenting a point of view, sir, that it breaks my heart. It breaks my heart because I believe that you believe what you're saying. It just breaks my heart. And I want to find a way to reach you, because I can reach you. I can reach other people.
And you all, it's
Not all of it. No, sir. No. If you can be, if we all have to have some humility. I'm demonstrating a lot of humility in having it, listening to you, okay, and hearing the barrage of, insults and so on. It takes humility to do that. I'm asking you to display some humility as well and recognize that there are some things that you may not understand, and there are some things that are in the public domain that are not true. And I'm prepared to invest the time to take you through and prove to you, stuff in the public domain, reason with you, and show you, and admit where things have gone wrong. I'm willing to do that as well. Right? But it's important that that opportunity exists to, and I hear it in your voice how convinced you are of what you believe. And as I said, as a public servant, who, like many other public servants, have, I don't even understand what it's like. It's non-stop activity. Non-stop. I have worked from 5 to Monday non-stop.
You're a finance minister of the Jamaica Labour Party, and you're party in power, Mr. Dr. Clarke. You believe that the country is going in the right direction?
Yes, sir. And I can give you reasons why it may not be tonight, because we probably don't run out of time.
Be a long ride.
But absolutely, sir.
I will definitely.
It's a longer conversation.
That's going to be.
We can talk about that.
I would have to know what's the. Maybe because we're not seeing. I don't know. Because, as I said.
Look, okay, can I explain something to you, Jermaine? Dr. Dunn. We're nearly, democracies around the world have not yet adjusted to the growth and prevalence of, the Twitter of social media, which is now a huge part of life. Right? Twitter, Facebook, all of them are called Instagram, Snapchat, TikTok. There's no list of them. Okay? In those media, there's no invigilation, and there's no barometer of truth. Just anything goes. People say anything they want. So in that environment, it's very easy for things that are not true to gain foothold to the point that people believe them. Right?
Let me ask you something, Doctor.
Democracies around the world. We have democracies. I'm not saying that everything's perfect, Dr. God. I'm not saying that. But there are a lot of things that you may hold to be true.
Let me ask you something. This is something that is true and factual, and something that's coming around, because we had a whistleblower who came to us and blew the whistle from the TSA agent about mass mandate coming back down again. I remember back in the...
No, sir. None of that is there's no mass mandate coming back.
Okay. Well, maybe you don't know about it yet, Dr. Clarke. But I'm telling you that a whistleblower from the TSA agent, right now, we're in the month of September. By September 15, all flight attendants and TSA...
I called you September 16th.
Okay.
And we see.
And we see about that. All of those gonna put in for flight attendants, and by October, it's coming back out. Not only that, I want to ask you, if stuff like that come back out, are you gonna be forcing the citizens of Jamaica to do stuff like that?
Sir, I am not aware of any plans to bring the mass mandate back.
Okay. And when it comes out, will you be in cahoots for the citizens to go in?
No, sir, there's no plan to bring a mass mandate back, and we can talk on the 16th. You call me, and to show that there's no mass mandate in place.
Okay. Not for everybody yet.
I'm telling you this.
By December.
Yeah. To me, there's a lot of manipulation of information to try. I mean, it's horrible what is happening. Horrible. And that's why our conversation is so important.
But haven't you realized, Dr. Clarke, that all the horrible things that have come out where people say it was conspiracy is what comes out to the truth? Haven't you seen those things for yourself?
No, not all the time. We've had some really bad things happen. Look
at how I've seen the Minister of Health in a community telling people get the vaccine if they want water. And right now there's evidence, data, factual that people were tricked. Yes, it was higher power than you guys that's running the country. But if and when something like that comes out, are you gonna be standing with it for forcing it back on the people?
Sir, I always stand with the people, sir. And
Well,
we can continue a dialogue.
Because you work hard while
we can continue a dialogue over time.
Wait there. When everybody was locked down, you work hard partying when everybody was locked down back in the COVID time.
No, that was the end of COVID time, sir. Within days of that event.
No, I'm not saying that into a disrespectful form. I'm saying that in agreement when you say you're always for the people, right?
Yeah. The people's interest is what is my interest. And over time, we keep talking, and you'll see that. And you'll see, the kind of man who can start a conversation with how you started the conversation against me, and willing to maintain a relationship over time. You'll see the person that I am. Okay?
Well, I'm open.
Yeah, all right.
And as I said, this is all about for better of Jamaica.
The informative information presented in this video is motivational and is positively aimed at inspiring, educating and entertaining the viewers with the cutting edge of critical reasoning. If you enjoy the contents on the Black Radar YouTube channel, please consider subscribing to show your support.